All right, welcome to the Down and Dirty at 1:30 Central. This is Vishan Borich from Team Tough. I'm glad you're here on this marvelous Monday. And today I've got some good content for you. I always try to provide the very best value that I possibly can because to me, that's part of being an entrepreneur. It's to continue to provide great content, great value, and to help elevate those people that are around us so that they can become even better at what they do and in their life and in their business. So today is no exception. I'm going to be sharing with you 7 tricks for driving traffic to your online content. So I hope you're ready. Go ahead if you haven't been on one of these before, or even if you're a longtime visitor and veteran of the Down and Dirty at 1:30, go ahead and log in down below. You'll see there's a box down there. Click in, log in, and let me know that you're there, that you're watching. If you have questions or you're having any trouble hearing me or something like that, go ahead and post that down there. I will tell you, if you do have trouble hearing me, you may want to just text message me on Facebook because I have my cell phone over here. And sometimes I don't always check the chat while I'm giving the presentation. Okay, so with that, I'm going to flip everything around so that you can see the presentation I've put together for you. Make sure you've got a notebook ready to go, and that way you can take some good notes. So let me flip things around. All right, I think we're ready to go here. All right, so 7 tricks for driving traffic to your online content. So let's get started. So I like to give an overview so you know what you can expect from today's presentation. So the first thing that you can expect is that I'm going to be discussing the types of content that are out there. It's important that you understand that because we can't drive traffic to just everything. There are only certain things that this really will work for. We're going to talk about those and which types of content are the most important to have in order to grow your business online. The second thing we're going to discuss are the different types of traffic drivers. There's only a handful of these, and as long as you're aware of what they are, what they do, this can really help to drive traffic for you and give you a good firm understanding as to how best to get eyeballs onto your content online. And then finally, I'm going to be sharing those 7 tips. So the 7 ways that you can drive more traffic to your business and your websites. All right, so next page here. So let's dive into content types. There are 4 main kinds of content that you can drive traffic to. And the first one most people know is your website. Your website can be what's called static or dynamic. Most people have a static website. A static means that you put it up there and you rarely change anything on it. It's more like a digital brochure, if you must. That would be an example of a static website. Then there are other websites that are dynamic in which content on it is constantly changing. A good example of that might be a newspaper website or some kind of a website where they have a constant stream of feeds that are updating that page automatically as new content is produced. Another good example of that might be like the Drudge Report. Some of you may have heard of that website. It's constantly being updated with an interactive feed that pulls in articles and information that they find really interesting. Okay, so those are websites. The second are audio files or podcasts. A lot of folks are really jumping onto the game of producing podcasts, and these are, of course, audio. There's no visual with them. You can, in fact, drive traffic to these files. I don't know if you knew that. There are a lot of websites out there that you can host those podcast or audio files on, and you would simply find the exact page where your audio is located and drive traffic just to that. So don't exclude that. If you're a podcaster, this is good news for you. The third, and this one you probably already were aware of, but did you know you can drive traffic directly to videos? YouTube is probably the most popular, but there's also Vimeo, Wistia, and several others. So you can drive traffic directly to video as long as you have a specific link to that video, then you can drive traffic to it. And then finally, last but definitely not least, are blog posts. Blog posts are probably my favorite, and I'm going to talk more about that in a minute. But blog posts are a great thing to drive traffic to because it helps to build a following. And that's what you want. You want a good following online who likes what you write, who likes what you share, in order for you to generate loyal followers and potential customers. All right, so the best content, and I already gave it away. I get kind of excited, but the best content are blog posts. And the reason why is they are dynamic. They should be, if you're a blogger, they should be updated frequently. You know, once a week is probably the minimum I would recommend if you really want to start driving good audience. You know, however, I recommend for somebody new to the industry, and even some of you old timers, is that you blog every single day. In doing that, you're creating a bigger and bigger footprint online. And the search engines like that. They like new content, especially Google. They look for people that post new content. Like when somebody does a search for, you know, a specific topic, they are looking for the newest content as well as the keywords that match. So if you just have an old website that's been up for years and never updated, it's going to get pushed down the list, unlike a blog post. All right, the other thing that's cool about blog post is that you have the capability to embed YouTube video. And I highly recommend that you start doing that if you haven't embedded video in your blog, or if you haven't even started a blog yet. I recommend that you keep video top of mind when producing your blog. Why? You know, a lot of people say, well, why video? I don't like doing videos. I've heard people tell me that before, and I say, look, videos are amazing for especially YouTube videos, because Google, the search engine, they own YouTube. Okay, so they have invested interest to drive more traffic to places where YouTube is located. So by embedding that video into your blog post, it's like a magnet for Google to help drive more traffic to you. Okay, so that's really important to think about. The other reason I like YouTube is because you can then, inside of your video, you can do what's called annotations. Annotations is a way for you to put text right over your video. It's really simple to do. I've done some Hangouts in the past on that, and I will be revisiting that on future Hangouts. But basically, you can embed a link right to your blog or to your website in that video. You can also put a link to your blog and things like that within the description box in YouTube for every video that you post. The reason this is so powerful is it's almost like, well, it is like your video becomes a marketing tool to drive people out of YouTube onto your blog site. Okay, so it's just another way to get those little feelers out there and getting more and more people to see your content. All right, the other thing that's good on blog posts is that you have the capability when you write a blog post to use specific keywords. Keywords are things that people already are typing into search bars in order to find things. Like you've done it, I'm sure every one of us has done this, where you're looking for something, you're researching something, you go into Google and you type, you know, how to, I don't know, I'm just trying to think of something, how to get a stain out of a white shirt. Okay, so if you had something like that, you would type that into Google, and then you're going to get a series of results, right? Now, Google tracks all that. They track keywords that people type in, and you can actually search for that. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. We'll revisit that later. But you can actually search for which keywords are producing the most visitors. And you can then take those exact keywords, how to get a stain out of a white shirt, and you can take that and you could put that as a blog post itself. So you could give the title of that. You could include those keywords within the body copy. And now you've got a piece of content that Google and other search engines just love, because people are actively searching for that content. Okay, so this is really powerful. And a lot of you who are just starting blogging, or maybe you've been blogging and you're not getting a lot of traffic, you may want to start producing blogs based on certain keywords that are being searched. I will tell you, it's easier to blog if you choose keywords that are topics that you're interested in. All right, don't just choose keywords because they get a lot of traffic. If you don't have an interest in it, or it doesn't really fit your audience, then you need to search for another keyword. Keyword can be multiple. It's not just one word, just to be clear. All right, and then finally, you can also embed infographics within your blog post. Infographics are things like graphs, charts, surveys, really cool pictography where it might have, pictures of different things and like circle of life and things like that. And by having those inside of your blog post, infographics have been proven to be shareable. People want to share them. They like little snippets, a visual that explains a very complicated topic in a simplified way. So if you can start putting infographics into your blog post, you're going to have much higher reach and more sharing capability and therefore more traffic. Okay, so I hope this makes sense, but this would be my recommendation for good content would be blogs. All right, so what are the main types of traffic drivers? Well, the most common is you get traffic organically from search engines, like Google and Yahoo and things like that. So somebody's searching for something, in the results, they will see something that meets their search criteria, and that's called organic. They're searching for that, and if you pop up in their search, then they'll probably go to your web page or to your blog page, right? So that's why we recommend, once again, to include video, infographics, and things like that, because those are all other little feelers that are out there that are going to help drive people organically from a search engine right into your blog. The other traffic driver, and this one everybody should be aware of, is social media. So all of the social media sites that are out there are excellent ways to drive more eyeballs to your content. So social media would be Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Instagram, LinkedIn, and on Pinterest. There's many, many more. So the more social media sites that you have an account for, the easier it is to start promoting. So what I recommend to anybody out there that's brand new, who's just building their online business, is that right now, today, make it an agenda to get out there and create accounts in as many social media places as you can. Right? You may not know how it all works yet, but get out there and set up accounts, keep a record of them so you aren't scrambling for the password and everything else. And then you can start posting things to those sites. And I will touch on today a real simple way to post to all social media sites really quickly instead of having to go one at a time, which can be quite time consuming. Okay. All right. Another way to drive traffic is email marketing. So anytime that you collect somebody's email, and we all should be collecting emails, right? You should be including in your emails links back to your content. Okay, somewhere in there you should have links to your content, because these are people that already are warm. They already are interested in what you're doing, or they would not have given you their email address, right? So with those folks, you need to capitalize on that and include links to content that they would find interesting, that matches the target that they're in. Okay, the target market that they're in. And then here's another little tip, is within your emails, include a link or social media bar where they can share your content with their friends, okay? Or forward that email to friends, because that's going to instantly get a lot of people to see your content, and you don't even have to buy that. I mean, that's just somebody who really likes you sharing what you're doing with their own network. And that's ideal, especially if you got somebody that's really well connected and resonates with the type of content that you're providing. Okay, then the fourth one here is advertising. This is a no-brainer, but this is going to be a paid strategy for most things, but a great way to drive traffic is to buy ads. Ads online can be anything from pay-per-click type ads to banner ads to on and on. So this is another great way. Most of the ways I'm going to be teaching you today are not, they don't cost you any money. There's a couple of them that do, but most of them don't. I try to select those that are easy on the budget, but have produced results for me and others that are in the industry. And then the last traffic driver I'm going to put in here, and I'm sure there are others, but these are the 5 main types, is link sharing. There are a lot of different websites out there and Facebook sites that offer link sharing. Usually the rules is that when you share a link to your blog post, for example, in order to be a part of that link sharing group, you have to agree to click and comment on at least 3 other people's websites. Okay, so you be sure to read the rules of that link sharing site. You can do a Google search for link sharing websites. You can also do a search on Facebook for link sharing groups, and then join those and take a look at their rules. And if it isn't a good fit, then I would not, post anything. But look at the rules, and then if you think it's something you want to do, this could be a great way for you to drive more traffic to your blog without having to spend money. Okay, the link sharing is usually free. We also are going to be talking about backlinks. Okay, so this is another way to get your links out there and to share them. And I'll share, what I do and how I get backlinks to my content. All right, so you guys ready for the 7 ways that you can drive traffic? If you're ready, go ahead and comment down below that you're ready to learn 7 ways to drive traffic to your content. I want to see who's out there. In fact, I'm going to flip around so I can kind of see who's out there right now. I don't even think I have the link up right now. Who do we got that's out there? Oh, surely it's not just me listening to this today. All right. Oh no, it says I got 2 viewers. So yeah, so go ahead and log in and let me know if you are getting value from this and you're learning some good information. If not, then obviously I need to choose a different topic. Let me know other topics that you would like more information on so that we can meet your needs. Okay, so I'm going to proceed here. So traffic driver number 1. And these are not necessarily in order. These are just 7 that have worked well for me. Okay, so number 1 is link sharing. And the way that you can learn more about link sharing is, number 1, go to your Facebook groups. And I know I touched on this a little bit, but there are a lot of great Facebook groups. One tip that I would give you is to try to find Facebook groups that have 1,000 or more members. Okay, you want to have a pretty good size group. The other thing is if you're going to be looking for things outside of Facebook, try to find those, or even in Facebook, try to find those that are in your same industry or market. Like if you're into the health and fitness industry, I would probably look for link sharing health and fitness groups. That way you're getting people that are already interested in your content as well, and they might want to share what you're doing with their audience, and vice versa. You may want to share what they're doing with your audience as well, and then you can help drive traffic to both audiences. The second way are website partnerships. Okay, partnership would be, let's say you know somebody who is getting a ton of traffic to their website. And just a little tip here, a way you can learn if somebody's getting a lot of traffic is go to a website called alexa.com, ALEXA.com. You can look up a website there and it'll tell you their ranking. Okay, the closer they are to 50,000 or lower, the better. That means they have a lot of traffic. A lot of people come to the website. Okay, if they got a bigger number than 50,000, then they probably don't get a lot of traffic or much compared to these others. So if you can find somebody that is getting a limited amount, or it's like number 1, the only one that's like number 1 would be like Google. But you find somebody who's in Alexa who's getting a lot of visits, then reach out to them. Go to their website, find a contact form, ask them if you can do some kind of a link share, or if you can promote them. The best way is to offer to promote them or blog about them. Give them a compliment by blogging about them, linking back to them, and then to write them back with a link to your blog and say, hey, I just recently wrote a review about you, and I just really appreciate what you're doing. And if you'd be so kind, you can link here back to a review of your website. So you'd be surprised that a lot of people will do that, and then all of a sudden you've got tens of thousands of people that are their followers that will see your link, and therefore drives traffic to you as well. Okay. All right, let's go to traffic driver number 2. Social media syndication. Social media syndication basically is a fancy word for getting more eyeballs on your content. Okay, social media is anything like Facebook and Twitter and things like that we spoke of earlier. So here are some social media syndication apps that will really help you. The first one is one that I use on a regular basis. This is called bufferapp.com. And what this does, it's a really slick website. There is a free version of it, which only allows, I think, 5 or 6 of your social media sites to be linked up. And then there's the paid version. They call it the awesomeness or Buffer Awesome level. When you get to that, and that's the level I'm on now, you can have almost unlimited, I believe, the number of social media accounts you can link up. The benefit of this is when I post something to my blog, I will go to my blog and then I'll click my Buffer app icon, which actually is a little button that you download, a plugin into Google, and it shows up there, and you click on it, and I instantly can share my blog post with all of my social media sites. It's pretty slick, right? And not only that, is it will track for me where my traffic is coming from within the Buffer app, so I can see which of my social media sites are performing the best and which content on those social media sites tends to get higher click-throughs. So then I can also choose to only publish content on certain social media sites. So that there could be a benefit to that. Like if you've got something that's really photo laden, then you may want to post that to Pinterest or Twitter or Instagram, and you may not want to post it to some of the other social media sites, or vice versa. If it's primarily all text, you probably don't want to post that to Pinterest, as an example. So these are some things you can do with Buffer app. So I highly recommend it. I love it. It's a great little app. It also has a version for your phone. And then finally, there's another one that most people are familiar with, is Hootsuite. Hootsuite is probably more robust than Buffer app, and I have used it some. Especially Hootsuite recently struck a deal with Instagram so that you can actually post to Instagram from Hootsuite. And I think they're the only social media syndication platform that has that deal right now, because Instagram's kind of persnickety about allowing people to automatically post to their platform. So it's just like a Buffergram, though. It's a way for you to instantly post your blog and your content to multiple social media sites all at once. And you can schedule it. I don't know if I said that earlier. You could like on a Monday, schedule 7 different posts and then set a specific time so that it'll send it out at that time. Okay, so one by one, it'll send it out. All right, and you can set it, in the morning, in the evening, whenever your audience is more likely to click on it. All right, let's go to traffic driver number 3. Let me get a drink here. Talking a lot, obviously. Okay, so traffic driver number 3. This is a paid strategy to boost your link on Facebook. On Facebook, if you have a page, you have to have a Facebook page, not just your personal profile. You would have to create a Facebook business page. Once you have one of those, you have the capability to boost, that's what they call it on Facebook, to boost something that you've posted on Facebook, on your business page. And what I recommend you do is that you put in brackets the word blog. If you're going to post a blog or boost a blog, you want to put, and in fact, let me go to my page. I think this might be easier if I pull up Facebook and actually show you an example of that. Give me a second. I've got a lot of stuff going on here. Let me find a blog post. Okay, here's one right here. So I don't know if you can see this. Let me see if I can make it bigger. Okay, so this is an example of one that I posted with Buffer, and I always, when I post to Facebook, I always include in brackets blog. And the reason I do that is because somebody is more likely, there's been tests or strategies done in order to see if this works better. But when somebody sees the word blog, it instantly puts their red flags down that you're trying to sell them something. It actually lets them know, hey, they're going to share some positive stuff with me because it's a blog. It's an entry into their blog. And I get a lot more click-throughs that way. So that's just an added bonus for you. And so you can see when you post to Facebook, after I post, underneath, and I always put a photo too, because those tend to be more clickable when you have a photo with your blog. But underneath it, you'll see a little thing here that says boost. Boost your post to reach more people. So what you do here is you click on boost, and I'm not really going to boost this guy, but it pulls up a little window, and now it's like huge. So let me go back down a little. It posts a little window here where you can select your audience, okay, and then you can select your budget. You can go as low as $1, I think. I usually do $2, and you have to change it down here so it's like for one day, or set a date, because I think they have a limit as to the minimum that you can do. But you can test an ad your blog and see how well it performs as far as click-throughs and things like that with the boosted post. And I usually test it with $2, and then I'll run it for, I usually run it for like 2 or 3 days. So you can set the date like 2 or 3 days out, and then you can go back in and actually look at the insights to see how well it performed. And if it's working and you're getting, clicks to your blog that are less than 50 cents, for example, 50 cents per click, you're doing pretty darn well. So that tells me maybe you want to scale up and maybe boost it for a little more money and try to get even more traffic to your blog. Now this obviously is a paid strategy, and I would recommend that if you are going to boost that on your blog, around your blog, you need to have some things that you're selling, okay? The whole goal here is to not just, give content away for free all the time. You also have to sell things. So I would have banner ads and things like that, or links to your products around your blog, so that either A, you're capturing their email address, which would be great if you have like a subscriber form on your blog, and B, that you're selling things, making money from, boosting your traffic. So yeah, so that's how you boost on Facebook, and it's a great way to drive traffic. Okay. All right. The next thing, oh, and I already said it's a paid strategy. You can target a specific audience in Facebook. Unlike some of these other strategies, Facebook is beautiful for this because you can pick a very specific audience. So like for me, I do martial arts. So one of the things I might do is target other martial artists. And I can do that in Facebook, especially if I wrote a blog post related to the martial arts. Then I can target that audience, get them to see my blog post, rather than just having the entire world see it who may or may not be interested in the martial arts. All right, let's go to traffic driver number 4. Number 4 are adding social media bars. Now we've all seen them. You may not know that that's what they're called, our social media bars. But these are a way to encourage people to share your content with others. And I'm going to give you a few tools here. The first one is sharethis.com. And sharethis.com, and I'll show it to you here in just a second, but it actually produces a little bar that you can embed on your website that has a button to Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Google+, on and on. So it's a way for you to get more shares. Here's another one. This is a competitor to ShareThis, is addthis.com. So let me flip back over, and I believe I've got those up here. Yeah, here's ShareThis. And you go through it, you select your style. So let's just say I want to put it on my website. And then I click the next one. You can choose what you want it to look like. Do you want the full list of how they can share it, or do you want just a tweet in a Facebook? Or you can have a bottom bar. So you choose. So if I just want this is probably the most common. And then you choose, what do you want to put in there? So now you can even drag to order these. Like if you're more common with Facebook, you'd move that to the top, and then you click get the code. Okay. You do have to have an account. There is you can create it free, and then they also have like a paid version. Okay. So it really depends on how often you do it and what you want to do. This is a great way to get a link with all of your social sharing icons, and you can post those on any website. Okay, AddThis works very, very similarly. You can produce a floating bar similar to this one. So, I mean, I'm not going to go through all of it, but you do have to sign in as well. But once you sign in, it'll walk you through similar to what we just did with Share This. So you create your bar, you get the embed code, and then you post it on your site. Great, right? So the whole point of this is to get people to share. And in sharing things, it allows more people to see what you're doing and drives more traffic. All right. Oh, and here's another one I forgot to mention, and that is wisestamp.com. You can also add social media bars to your email signature. And I have just started doing this as a test on some of my emails that I send out. And it works, especially if I'm providing really valuable content that people want. Then if I include these social media icons in my signature, I found that people will share it. They'll share it with their group. They'll forward it via email. And now I got more traffic coming into my site. So let me show you what WiseStamp looks like. Okay, so this is the website, wisestamp.com. And you can see how it allows you to customize your signature box for your emails. And it gives you a little code that you drop in, and it automatically will generate this for you. Like, this is a really nice one. I like that because it has all these social media icons. So yeah, this gives you some ideas as to what you can do. And what's nice is you can brand yourself with those so that people have that top of mind. Every time they see your signature, they know who you are. And, it always looks, it looks like something they recognize. So they're more likely to open and click on different things within your email. Okay, let's go to traffic driver number 5. Create contests and surveys. Contests and surveys are one of the most viral things that are on the internet. I'm sure if you've been on Facebook or things like that, that you have seen these surveys, contests on there. And the point of that is to either A, capture your email, B, capture your Facebook email so that they can reach out to you and start trying to sell you stuff. It also is a way for them from an advertising perspective to put advertising in front of you and your friends on Facebook. Well, you don't have to do it on Facebook. You can create contests and surveys within your emails and within your blog or website. And one of the ones that I've used is this one called WooBox. And let me show you what WooBox is. It's a pretty neat little app. So WooBox allows you to create these cool little pages here. And you can create sweepstakes, coupons, photo contests, quizzes, which are always really popular, polls, brackets, and on and on and on. You can see there's a lot of different things you can create. You can even create like shopping rewards deals that you can use for your existing customers, or polls and things like that. So here you go to this website, WooBox. You can try it for free and create a box and then put that on your blog, put it on your social media site. Make sure you include links on those that take people back to your website. What I recommend doing is, in order for them to get the results from a survey or the results from a contest, have them have to go to your website to do that. Okay, and have a link in the actual WooBox itself that drives them there in order to get that information. Okay, and that's a great way to drive more traffic to your website. And to make sure on the page that they go to, it's going to have some other links around it that they might be interested in, of different blog posts that you've done, maybe your most popular ones, maybe some ads as well on products and services that make sense for them. And you'll find that you can drive a viral audience just by doing one of these interactive WooBoxes. Okay. All right. Another one is SurveyMonkey. This is a website that allows you, just like it sounds, to create surveys, and it'll track all that information for you. SurveyMonkey, it does have a free version, I believe. So WooBox, I think it is paid. SurveyMonkey, you can do it for free for a little while until, I don't know what the maximum is. You'll have to check it out. But it's kind of nice, especially in emails. I've used SurveyMonkey in order to drive traffic to my own website and blog, and also to get good information so that you can create great content for them that they're really interested in. All right, traffic driver number 6, boost your views with video. We did speak a little bit about this earlier, but video is such a great way to drive traffic. For me personally, just my own story, I've used video to drive traffic to my blogs and also to get leads for my business. In every video, I include a link in the description. I also say it in the video, and I also embed a link within the video that links to a capture page, which for those of you that aren't familiar with what a capture page is, that's a web page that requests somebody to fill in their email address and then click a button. And when they do that, I get their email. What's nice of this is now I have a larger email list that I can email them great content and obviously stay in touch with them so that perhaps I can sell them something in the future. Okay, so here's some tips for you. Create a YouTube video, and then what I recommend you do is you add a link in the annotations, and you can learn about that on past Hangouts I've done and also some future ones that are coming up. But annotations is a way to put text on a video. You can also make interactive text that when clicked on, it'll take them to a specific link. And then I also would put your link to your website or blog in the description of the video. That way somebody that reads it, they can click on it. When you do put it in YouTube as a description, make sure your link includes the http:// that makes it hyperactive, so that hyperlink, so that they can click on it. Otherwise, they will not be able to click on it. It'll just be static text. Okay. After you do that, I recommend you embed that video into your blog or onto your website because that's going to give you more views by having it there as well. And then one last little tip or tool that I'd like to give you is on OneLoad. This is OneLoad.com, and let me go there and show you what that does. So OneLoad is a great way to get your video distributed to different search engines and websites, so you can increase the number of people that see your videos. It also gives you insight with analytics and things like that, and that way you know what types of videos are producing the best results. So it gives your video, it makes it optimized, search engine optimized, by adding it to OneLoad. So it's a great little software. I just started using it not too long ago, and it's really helped my videos to get seen more often, and of course in turn to drive more traffic to my blog. All right, traffic driver number 7. Ping and backlink your site. Now you may not know what either of those terms mean if you're relatively new. Ping means that you are telling search engines to go and look at your website because something's been updated. And I don't know if you guys know this, but when you update your website, search engines like Google, they do not know instantly that you've updated it. It takes on average a month, sometimes 2 months, before Google can re-spider, that's what they call it, when it goes back out and it sees what sites are new that are out there, so that it indexes them for their search. So if you post something, there's no guarantee it's going to show up at all on Google until it's been pinged. So there's some tips I'm going to give you here on how you can get it pinged and how you can get the search engines to find you more quickly. All right, backlinks is a fancy word for having other larger websites that get more traffic point back to you. Okay, that gives you better clout with Google and other search engines because they look at websites that have a lot of links to them as being an authority, being something that a lot of people are interested in. So it gives you a higher ranking in Google when somebody's performing a search for that topic. So backlinks can be a bear if you're doing it yourself. But I found a trick, a secret that makes it super easy to get some bigger sites to link back to you. Okay, and I'm going to share that with you here today. All right, so you can use pings and backlinks for your blog post, for a specific video, for specific web pages. You can also use it for an audio file. I didn't put that here, but if you have a specific link to a podcast, you can backlink or ping that as well. Okay, so the next thing is, here is a tool for you to use. It's called Pingler. Pingler.com. I've been using this one for a long time, and it's a slick little website that allows you to drop in a link that you just created, like to a blog page or something like that, and tell them about it, and then it submits it to hundreds and hundreds of websites and search engines. Okay, so let me just show you what Pingler looks like, if I still have it open up here. I don't think I do, so let me open this one up. Okay, there is a free version. If you just go to Pingler.com, you can use the free version. If you want to ping multiple links, then it's like $3 a month, and you can have an account with them. So you come in here, and I think it only lets you like do 3 links a day, which is usually pretty good for most people to do for free. After that, you'll have to buy an account. So what you do is you come in here, you type in the title of whatever it is that you want people to see. Then you post in or paste in the URL to that, and then you can select up to 3 different categories that particular blog post is referencing. It won't let you select more than 3, so be very careful on what you select and make sure it's a good fit for the topic. And it shows you here all the different ping services that it uses. So there's lots of them in here. And then obviously you have to put in a CAPTCHA and then click ping. And it takes just a little minute or 2 in order to go in and basically spider your blog post and submit it to the different search engines. So what I recommend you do is anytime you create a new YouTube video, anytime you create a new podcast, anytime you create a new blog post, or anytime you update your website, that you come into Pingler and you run a ping, okay? And in doing that, you're gonna help drive more traffic to your site. Okay, all right, let's come back over here. Another one, and this goes to the backlinks, okay? Fiverr.com. I tell you what, this is my resource for all kinds of things that I don't have time to do. So Fiverr.com, you can go and search for somebody who does backlinking. Backlinking, again, is a way for them to get bigger sites to point or backlink to you, to your website. Okay, so let me show you Fiverr. I got them open, and I already did a search up here in Fiverr for backlinks. And then what I recommend you do is once you get into Fiverr, you come in here and then search for average customer review. I like to have those that are really top and they have 5 stars. So, and this guy, I've actually used him before. He does a good job, Young Caesar. He has over 17,000 happy people that have used his backlink service, and it'll tell you exactly once you buy backlinks for $5 from Young Caesar or anybody else here that's good. I've actually bought it from this Dino Stark as well. He does a good job. Once you buy it from them, it'll tell you exactly what they want, and then you have to just fill out that form or information that they need, and then they backlink. It takes usually a couple days. Sometimes it happens almost immediately for that backlink to happen, and then you'll start seeing more traffic. I do this a lot for videos. I do it a lot for some of my bigger blog posts that I spend a lot of time on, and it helps to drive a lot of traffic. So now the cat's out of the bag. You know some of the secrets that the pros use in order to get more visitors to their websites, their blogs, their videos, and how they get ranked. So those are just some of my biggest tips. I'm going to go back to the PowerPoint because I like to over deliver when I do this. So I actually included a few more traffic drivers. I'm going to call these bonus traffic driver tips. So the first one is I recommend that you start researching keywords on Google using their keyword planner. If you're having a hard time getting people to even see your blog or your website, I would recommend you make at least 1 post a week that is catered to specific keywords. Now, I did an entire hangout on how to use the Google Keyword Planner. So go back and subscribe, number 1, to my YouTube channel. And you can actually click in the corner of this video that you're watching on the hangout. It'll take you to my YouTube site, and then subscribe there, and then go back and look at past hangouts, and you'll see one, or do a search for how to use Google Keyword Planner, or Google Keywords, I think is what I called it. And then when you create your blog post, create it around those keywords. And then what that's going to do, it's going to be something that's more viral. It's hitting a topic that people are actually searching for. And in turn, not only are they going to see that blog post, but they're going to look at other blog posts, because you're going to have links around that they can explore and see some of the other things that you're writing about that are related to that topic. Okay. Another tip: create custom infographics on your blog and website. Here's a great site that I found. It's called Easly. So let me go and I'll show you that one as well. So Easly is a find. I just love this site. I've used it a few times to make these infographics. And if you're not familiar with what an infographic is, these are some good examples here. Okay, I'll just click on this one. So let me make it bigger. So this would be an example of an infographic. So it's showing you kind of the, how much caffeine you're actually getting and sugar and things like that. So you can see very easily at a glance, what it's talking about. These are excellent to paste onto your blog post. You can absolutely create your own. You can use this template to represent something else entirely outside of coffee or beverages. What I recommend that they didn't appear to do here is put a link right into the text on this document to your website or to your blog post. That way, if somebody shares it or somehow they get a hold of your infographic outside of your blog, they can see where it came from and go to that specific page. Okay. Infographics are also great to share on Pinterest. So if you have a Pinterest account, you can create infographics specifically for Pinterest and then link those right back to your full blog post. Isn't that cool? And as far as I know, it's free to use Easily. Maybe they have a limit on the number you can create per day, but I don't know. I've only done like 3 or 4 of them, and those have really boosted a lot of my traffic. So see how many you can do. Let me know if you can do more than 3 or 4 of them in a week, and if so, then cool. It's a free service. If not, you may have to pay for something on it. I'm not sure. All right. So great tip there. And the watermark basically is including your link written out within the actual post or infographic. All right, and then finally, big tip here is to optimize whatever you post on the internet with good search engine optimization. So make sure you've got keywords plugged in, make sure you've got a Facebook friendly version of your blog post. There's lots of different things, meta tags, on and on. There's different ways you can plug in keywords within your blog when you write it that'll help drive more traffic. I could do an entire down and dirty training on SEO, but I'm not going to do that here because we're running out of time now. But what I do suggest, if you really are interested in search engine optimization, SEO, that you join Team Tough. We have some incredible training courses within our software and within our system, in which we walk you through how to optimize your blogs, how to optimize your videos, how to get more traffic. And I also walk you through on a lot of different things I do. I have a list of 100 ways to drive traffic to your website, blog, or video. And obviously I didn't cover all of those today. I would be here all day. I just picked the top 7, but there's a lot of different ways to get people to see your content. And that's something that I like to share to my own team members within Team Tough on how they can do that. So there's a lot of benefits to being a part of our group. And we always have these Monday calls, these Monday down and dirty hangouts in order to provide value. This is free value for you. If you like what you see, I encourage you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I also encourage you to share what you see here so that others can get value from it as well. So let me go ahead and flip it around so I can sign off here, because that is the end of my presentation. So thank you so much for being on today's Down and Dirty Hangout. I hope you did get value. If you did, go ahead and comment down below. Let me know that you got some good value. Let me know also if you had any questions, or maybe you have another traffic driver that I didn't mention that's really working for you. We'd love to see that and share that and talk about it and get the discussion flowing. So make it a great day. We'll see you next Monday for the Down and Dirty at 1:30 Central. Take care.